were made for each other to hold on to. I was carved out of redwood beneath your moon. I was birthed in the mountains under the sun. Something's changed, you can't see my face in the ground no more. Something's changed, you can't see my face in the...
You guys have spoken. You love day in the lives. So I'm going to top that for you. Today I have a weekend in the life for you. Today's Friday. We're going to start on Friday. I'm going to try to take this video through Saturday and Sunday and show you what our weekends look like. Our weekends can vary week by week. Sometimes they're a little busier than others. In this video, we're going to be doing all the things. On this particular Friday, I have an AZURE haul to go pick up. I have a cram-packed day today. Would like to make an angel food cake with all of the abundance of eggs that we have lately. Last year when I bought 45 laying hens, I didn't think they were all gonna make it. Most of them did. So we are rolling in the eggs right now. So I need to start using some of these eggs up, and angel food cake and an Italian Zabaglione are two of our favorite ways to use up extra eggs. So I'm going to be doing that. It is a beautiful, cozy, rainy day here. I love rainy days. Rainy days are just my favorite days. We got a large portion of the garden in, so I'm going to show you some clips from that. And we're just going to see how much we can pack into this day and this video. So tomorrow will be Saturday, and there are just so many things around the home and homestead that need to be done. I want to start this video out with showing you guys what I do when my mind starts getting overloaded with tasks. You guys, I keep it simple. I have a planner, just a regular daily planner. Actually, it's not regular. I get mine custom made from Plum Paper Planners. I am starting to learn that I probably need an undated planner because I will go through periods where I write things down like religiously, and then I'll go through a couple days where I don't. And then I'm starting to learn that an undated planner would probably be better and have less wasted pages for me. I like the dated for appointments though, so I'm kind of torn. But I find that with a planner, whenever I start feeling overwhelmed, it's usually because I'm carrying too much of the mental load in my brain of everything that needs to be done. And all I need to do is, I call it a brain dump. I just write everything that is on my mind that I need to do in the planner. And sometimes I'll take a day where everything that crosses my mind that needs to be done that I keep forgetting to do, it goes in the planner, and then I just map it out through the week ahead. And this helps me tremendously just to keep the anxiety manageable so that it's not, you know, making me miserable. And it just helps me so much to get the things done that need to be done. In this video, I will also have a devotional for you. Ooh, what are you making here?
Scrambled eggs with cheese.
Oh, do it in the voice you did before.
I don't know what voice you're talking about.
The Julia Child voice you did. You just do it again. Please do it again. Please, please.
I need some scrambled eggs with cheese.
I get a lot of comments on my home decor. And you guys, it's funny because most of my home decor comes from Goodwill. The rest of it is just plants. And most of them are plants that I found at a very low price. I found most of my plants as very small plants. And so, you know, like $5 is the most that I paid for a lot of them. A lot of them are getting pretty big. I've got some snake plants that are almost as tall as I am now. This fern is probably the most expensive one that I have. My husband bought this for me. It was on sale. And I'm just hoping I can keep it alive because these ferns, they like a lot of moisture, and I live in a very dry area a good portion of the year. It's very damp a good portion of the year, and then dry a good portion of the year. So the ferns are my favorite plant. They remind me of woodland forests, and I love woodland forests. So that's what these remind me of. So I'm really hoping I can keep it alive because I love bringing that woodland forest feel and vibe into the house. Yeah, that's one of the biggest secrets for those of you asking the questions about my home decor. It's primarily plants. Some of them are happier than others, I will admit that. I know what your next question's gonna be. How do you keep all those plants alive, Shayla? I cheat. Probably 95% of my plants are easy keepers, the kind that you can forget to water for 2 weeks and still come back to and they haven't died. Devil's ivy is one of the best for that. Oh, there's some flowers my husband got. But yeah, the devil's ivy, pothos and philodendron are a couple others. Wait, no, are they the same thing? I always forget. Snake plant is another one, and then of course the spider plant. Those are really easy plants to keep alive. This one is a, what was this thing called? I can't remember. Anyways, this one loves direct sunlight, which is why it's in the window. It's not been too finicky, although it does drop a leaf or two if you forget to water it. This one is not too happy if you forget to water it either. So it's a little bit more of a high maintenance, and I think it's a Christmas ivy. Of course, pampas grass. It's a really easy keeper. But seriously, you guys, we're on a budget. We homeschool. We're on a single income, and since I homeschool, you know, we only live on my husband's income, so everything I get, I try to find a bargain on. This coffee table, brand new, one of these styles, I've seen them for up to $3,000. I found it at the secondhand store. Guess how much? 15 bucks. That's it. I did a Google search on it and saw they're selling for literally up to $2,000 and $3,000, and I got it for 15 bucks. I'm making these. They're really easy to make. You can make them with yarn. You can find the yarn secondhand too, and they make nice curtains and just decor. All of my baskets were secondhand. You guys can have a really beautiful home despite your financial circumstances. Again, most of everything you see here I got for just a few short bucks at the dollar stores and at the thrift stores. More thrift store goodies, not these little cups, but most else of what you see here is thrift store or else clearance. It's a little messy over in this corner, but another thing I like to decorate with are my books. I have lots of books. Here's a homeschool book. It's a homeschool cooking book I got for the kids, United Tastes of America, and I think it's pretty, so it's all on display in my kitchen. All it takes is just honestly being intentional, hitting thrift stores quite frequently, because you never know when they're going to have just what you've been looking for. There's times, I did a previous video on this, so you can look it up. I will link to it below, and I'll try to link to it in the cards right above towards the end of this video. There are so many times that I've needed something like a coffee table, which isn't really a need, but it was kind of because books were getting damaged falling off the sofa all the time. There are things that are not, you know, like life and death needs, but definitely nice to have. And I, so many times, and especially if I pray about it, 9 times out of 10, I go and I find it for a fraction of the price at the secondhand store. Another thing I love about shopping secondhand is it's more sustainable. You are, you know, saving things from going to a dump somewhere. So you save money and it's easier on the planet. This little copper tin thing here, it is copper, but I bought this, it had a candle in it, and I was able to just save it. There's a lot of things you can do like this where you buy it and there's something else in it, but you save it. It's nice to have and handy. You save money because you use it for another purpose. I have been falling in love with these Good Medicine tea, but when I'm done with them, there is just a tin. What could I do with these tins? Give me some ideas of things I could store in these tins, because I don't want them to go to a landfill. They're kind of nice. I don't want to just throw them away, and it seems like they could be used for something. I need to do something with these shallots, and I need to do something with these potatoes this week, and they're starting to go to, well, seed buds. I just revived sourdough in record time. Okay, here's what I did. I had 2 cups of sourdough. Haven't fed it in over a week. The kids are rooting for pizza this weekend, so it's getting kind of late in the day, and I thought, well, I don't think I can get my sourdough revived in time. So what I did is took that 2 cups of sourdough, I added 1 cup of nice warm water, and I added 1 cup of freshly ground warm flour. Can you see those happy, happy bubbles? Looks like we're having pizza tonight, kids. I'm gonna take 2 to 3 cups of this sourdough, and I'm going to put it back into the fridge for next time we need it, and I'm going to take what's remaining and feed it 1 more time. We should be good to go. Oh, it's so frothy. Woo! I have never, ever revived a sourdough in an hour and a half. This is just the healthiest batch of sourdough I've got going, you guys. All that natural yeast is just going to town. So here I have my warm flour, my warm water, not too warm because I don't want to kill the yeast. And I'm getting ready to feed this to my batch of sourdough here. And probably since that last batch was revived in an hour and a half, I don't expect this is going to take very long, especially if I put it in a bowl of warm water. This should be almost doubled within hopefully an hour. Might take a little longer. But still, kids will be happy. It looks like we're having pizza tonight. This is nearly doubled, and I have just enough time to make the pizza dough before I have to run off to get the AZURE order. Look at how beautifully yeasty that is. All natural. There is no commercial yeast added to this. My pizza crust recipe is 1 cup of sourdough starter, 1 cup of barely warm water, not too hot or it will kill the yeast. My secret ingredient is liquid smoke. Just like 1/4 teaspoon, it gives it a nice wood-fired pizza flavor to the crust. And then just about 2 teaspoons of sea salt. Then I mix in 3.5 cups of flour. Usually it doesn't need more than that. Sometimes, depending on the sourdough, it may need less or more though. I've always tried to make weekends kind of special whenever it's possible, and pizza is just one of those things that we love to do on Friday nights whenever we can. It just kind of like kicks off the weekend. Say, hey, the weekend's here. Let's celebrate family this weekend. I know that you... This is 4 batches of pizza dough, and that's how much it takes for our family. I like to make a little bit extra so that we have some for eating over the next couple days over the weekend. That way it gives me a little bit of a break because the kids can just go grab some pizza out of the fridge and I don't have to, you know, be on duty cooking the entire weekend. We have our sweet doggie. She hurt her paw this week, so we've been having to keep it wrapped up for her and cleaning it every day. I have a pretty small AZURE order this time. I'll show you guys what I got though. Okay, so this Keratin Hair Boost, you guys, it really works. I've been using it now for like 3 months, I think. I just had another bout with hypothyroidism, kind of a flare up. I have Hashimoto's. And so I'm losing a little bit of my hair because of the flare up. I still have so much hair to spare and my hair is healthier and it's looking a lot better. So I've been taking this for a while. It's definitely working. I've purchased the Dandelion Probiotic Chai tea before. I got 3 boxes this time. That's how good it is. This tea is so healthy and it is so delicious. I just absolutely love it. I'm gonna be using these in about 10 minutes actually. I run out of these quite often. I probably go through a bag this size, maybe once a year, maybe once every 2 years, stretching it with the 2-year mark. But this is bay leaves, whole bay leaves. I'm excited to open these and see what they smell like. I'm also probably gonna use these. I will simmer this with some lemons and rosemary, maybe just lemons. Anyways, it's gonna make the house smell really good. I bought a whole bunch of these oxygen absorbers. They just absorb, you know, like moisture in your dry goods. And I bought these for our chicken feed. More tea, more of the tantric chai. This stuff is so good, you guys. I actually looked into making my own. I think it'd be probably about the same price if I made my own though. And last but not least, oh wait, no, this isn't last. This is second to last. This is carob chips. Take these, you very slowly melt them down with some raisins or almonds or whatever your favorite nut is. My favorite nuts are pecans and macadamia nuts. You melt this down. You have to do it very carefully because if you get it too hot too fast, it gets grainy and it ruins it. I guess it kind of burns it. But if you do this slowly, you do it just right. You melt these and you make little candies with them. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. And this stuff is just addictive. It's so good. Last but not least is some Lundberg rice. I think this is the white rice. We go through a lot of rice, especially since we try to limit our gluten intake. This is the American white basmati rice. Delicious. It smells so good when it's cooking. In this scene, I am making some chicken broth. I have some taco chicken that we did this week for taco night. And I decided to take the bones and the rest of the carcasses that were left and make some warm and hearty, spicy chicken soup. Probably gonna be kind of a Mexican chicken soup. I thought this would be perfect for this chilly weekend. It's not gonna be terribly cold, but it is gonna be a rainy weekend, so it's gonna be nice to have soup on hand. One of my subscribers mentioned that they hope we had our water tested when we moved here before we drink it. We have had our water tested. It's really good water, but we really like the taste of reverse osmosis. Most of all, we've grown so used to it and it just tastes so good to us. So we still actually buy our water, reverse osmosis water to drink. Let's check out this sourdough pizza. Well, we got a ways to go, probably another hour. I think I'm gonna put some more hot water in that bowl underneath. That's how I'm heating it up. Since we don't have a fire anymore, we don't need a fire going. That's how I will heat my dough and keep it warm so it rises quickly. A lot of people wonder why on earth I would make as much food as I do from scratch. A lot of people don't understand why I do that when I'm homeschooling. Of course, there's a lot of people that don't understand why I homeschool either, but that's another topic. Before I even had kids, it was important to me that I ate healthy and made as healthy a food as I possibly could. I got my master's in herbology from the School of Natural Healing when I was 17. So health has always been something that's just been important to me. I didn't get married until I was 25, and that meant I had a lot of years to think about how I would feed my future family. And feeding my family healthy food, which means making a lot of it from scratch, has just always been important to me. When our family moved from Midwest to the Pacific Northwest a few years back, we, of course, didn't have the time, and also we ended up moving into a kitchen that was extremely small for our family. So I ended up relying on a lot of foods that were pre-made from the store that had a lot of the preservatives, all of the stuff that we would consider junk. Our family got more colds. That was the year that I ended up getting sick, really sick with Hashimoto's hypothyroidism. By the end of that year, I was diagnosed. Then my husband also had so much sickness. The kids did okay, but as adults, we couldn't really thrive on prepackaged store-bought fast foods. Our bodies definitely let us know, this isn't gonna work. Not for you guys. Another thing that we noticed with our ADHD children is that their ADHD symptoms were much worse when we were eating all of the store-bought fast food. So we got to see exactly what the difference was in eating healthy foods from scratch versus eating like average family dinners. My family's health is the biggest reason that I go through the trouble of making all the foods from scratch, and why we try to grow, or are trying to grow, as much of our own food as we can. For a family our size to go out and buy organic food, that would be pretty expensive. It's definitely far more pocketbook friendly for us to grow what we can. It also helps bring us together as a family, and it gives us an activity to do together that we can practice teamwork in. Thank you to everybody who suggested or made their favorite suggestions as far as a can opener. I went with KitchenAid, but I am actually going to be buying a Pampered Chef one, and I'm also probably gonna get the Swing Away because I don't ever want to be without a can opener again. And hey, if the Pampered Chef and the Swing Aways are as good as everybody says, I will be able to pass them on down through the generations. So I have won the war with the can openers. I wanted to show you guys a little trick that I have picked up through the years, and it is to save your canning jars for canning. Sometimes if I have an abundance of canning jars, I'll use it for things like these dried herbs. But what I have started doing, because it's more affordable, is I will use jars from peppers. This had peppers in it before, and so what I'm doing is I'm saving jars like this to put the herbs in, since these are free. Mason jars are not, and mason jars are the only ones for canning. And so of course I want to save them for canning since I have a shortage of them, and I'm using these instead because it's free. I have not had a kitchen day in over 2 weeks. I don't know, can you tell? It's pretty bad. I need to have a kitchen day. I found that I need to have a good kitchen day at least every other week. Once a week is best. I just can't seem to get to it once a week, so I try to get to it every other week. It's gotten way too cluttered in here and messy.
I'm gonna get the back on here so it can look nicer.
Hey, notice the socks. Mama's out there. I'm gonna teach you something that I learned quite a few years ago that started saving large portions of my sanity. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic. My socks, yeah, they're not matching. I don't know if you can see, they're not matching. I stopped matching socks after my 4th kid. I just didn't have time for it, and I realized this is just crazy. What am I matching socks for? Nobody cares. So I quit matching socks. So I've got mismatched socks. My kids usually have mismatched socks. We don't care. We're alive, we're healthy, we survive. You guys can take that need it out there. one of my previous videos, I talked about laundry and how laundry was just, it was taking over our house. And one of you amazing large family mama subscribers out there made a really good suggestion. The suggestion was to assign a laundry day per kid. So I did. That's what I'm doing. I have got 6 kids. So what we're doing is I am assigning like a couple kids one day and then another child another day until each one of us is going to have a day of the week. What's with the bad attitude? Listen to me. We all use these towels. You use the towels. We use them in the kitchen. We use them for the food that we cook our dishes on. That's why these are dirty. You understand? These are your bath towels. These are all your wash rags and your bath towels. This is your bath mat for your bathroom. These are for your bathroom. Now you use these. The Bible says we're supposed to find joy in the jobs that God has given us. That means we might have to look for it. You know, it wouldn't be in the Bible. Please look at me when I'm talking to you. The Bible doesn't say easy things. Like, does the Bible say have fun when you're eating marshmallows? No, the Bible doesn't say have fun when you're eating marshmallows. Why do you think that is? Because it's easy to have fun when you're eating marshmallows, right? It's not easy to have fun when you're folding your towels and doing work like this. It's not easy. That's why the Bible says you need to try to find joy in the jobs that God gives you. Do you understand? It's healthy for your body to be joyful. It's not healthy to be grumpy and angry. You understand? Okay? That's why we need to try to find joy. And it's hard to do, but if you start doing it in little bits, it gets easier as you get older. But you gotta try the first few times, okay? Maybe when we're washing these, we can think of how happy we are to have this. And then next time you go to use it,
I already washed.
I know, but I didn't mean washing, I meant folding. But as you fold this, next time you go to use it, this is when it gets really easy. Next time you go to use this, think of how happy you are. Like, where's the bath towels? Aren't you happy? Here, is this a bath towel? There's a bath towel. Think of how happy you are to have a bath towel when you get out of the bath or the shower. Can you imagine having to stand there, freezing cold and drip dry? That's a really good time to be thankful that you have a towel to wrap up in and stay warm. So when you do that, think, gosh, I'm glad I washed this towel. That makes it easier. So then the next time you go to fold a towel, it'll be easier to remember to be thankful and try to find joy. The Bible says, whatever your hand finds to do it with all of your might. So that means you're supposed to try to do a really good job. It also says in the Bible that we need to try to find joy in the jobs. And like I said, it's not easy, and it wouldn't be said in the Bible if it was easy, okay? Okay? So definitely let's try not to have fits while we're doing the laundry. How would that look if Mommy was having fits while I was doing the laundry? Look kind of silly, wouldn't it? I have had fits when I'm doing the laundry, haven't I? I think I have had fits when I've done laundry too. See, Mommy needs to practice this too. It's not easy for Mommy. It's Saturday morning, and on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, my husband and I like to spend some time together since we don't get a lot of time to just spend time together through the week. So we spent some time together this morning. Now I've got my coffee and I'm getting ready to edit for a little while. I like to do my editing in the morning while my brain is working better than it does later in the day. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm writing some things down on the list that includes things that need to be done today so that the kids know what needs to be done this morning. Here's when you know you have a really nice, good broth. Look at how jiggly that is. It's got all the gelatin. It has started to cook out of the joints and the bones. Watch this though. Here's how you know if you've got more. See, look at how gelatinous that is, but there's still more that can come out. So if you look at the joints, you can still see some cartilage in here. Like there's some pieces of cartilage there I still see. So I'm gonna run this through the Instant Pot one more time and get the rest of that out. I came out from editing and my family cleaned the house for me. Normally we try to clean the house on Friday, but I was gone, so I didn't remind the kids because I had to go get the AZURE order. I still have a few spaces to organize, a few remaining things to put away, but they did a really good job and I'm so glad it's done. Yay, we get a clean house for the weekend. I've been eyeing these gloves for 2 years. They were on Amazon. I got a pack of 2. They come in a pack of 2. I liked them for the color. They are a little more yellow than I would have liked, but I didn't need gloves when I first saw them because I had enough. But my rubber gloves recently started going bad. They are getting like really sticky, and so I need to toss my rubber gloves that I've had for so long now. So I ended up getting these. They're extra durable, comfort fit, waterproof, and I love how long they are. I like the color because, you know, a lot of times they're sitting on my counter and I don't like obnoxious colors sitting out. It just feels like clutter to me, and I already have enough clutter. You know, we're a big family. It just seems like there's always clutter, so I like to find things that are more neutral colors because it just seems like it looks less cluttered. Around a month ago, I tried to make a gluten-free angel food cake and it was awful. It was a recipe I found online. It was heavy, it was dense, and it was flat. And 2 weeks ago, I attempted to make another one. This time, I got the wild harebrained idea to use oat flour. And you guys, it worked, but there was one problem. Classic Shayla, I didn't measure anything, so I don't know how much oat flour I used. So today I'm gonna try to recreate that recipe. If it works, I will share the recipe. So fingers crossed. What do you think? Do you guys think I can do it? You want to see me do the test?
Yeah.
You hold it over your head and it won't go anywhere. That's how you know you got a good meringue. It worked. I overcooked it ever so slightly and it did fall just a little bit in the center, but it tastes like an angel food cake. It doesn't taste dense and ricey like the previous one I made. It looks like I'm sharing the kitchen today. I left the room for a few minutes and came back and my daughter's in here making cream puffs. We'll be eating well this weekend for sure.
If I wrote you a song, if I got every word perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper, would it make any difference? Would it change for the better if I wrote you?
Big families are an unbelievable amount of work, but when the kids start getting older and everybody starts pulling together or decides to pull together, things can get done really quickly and big jobs become very light. taco soup turned out really well. I think the kids are gonna love it. And down here in the oven, I have a small loaf of bread. Well, we have a lot of food for the weekend. This will be nice to have, so I don't really have to cook tomorrow. Got chicken broth for the week ahead, so I've got a little extra to make some more soup with in a couple days. Zabaglione is a nice treat for me and my husband, the angel food cake. How did your pudding turn out? Is it good?
Want a bite?
No. Doesn't it have flour in it?
No.
Oh, well, maybe sure.
Is that
You
it?
drew the beach and the sand?
Yeah.
Is that what that is? Oh, that's awesome. Are you excited to go to the beach? Pretty soon.
There's a whole lot of beach there.
Looks like the hubby's cleaning stuff up outside. We're about to start karaoke night. On Saturday evenings, we always do karaoke, and we do our music practice. Our oldest son is the chicken duty man. He is very faithful about taking care of the chickens. Raising some chickens, some broiler chickens, is going to be one of his summer jobs for some other people as well.
Those troughs. Feed our trough.
They are already. They're doing good. Oh, you're such a good chicken poulterer. Here comes the super fun part. Letting the hens out. You run.
They climb on the gold lace back.
I have it. They climb all over their mummy.
They stand on the gold lace back.
They're like, it was mine, it was mine. Eesh, you stole their worm. Well, hello. Hi, how are you? Good morning. You guys want some friendly birds? These ones are pretty friendly. They are the golden laced windots. And then the gold buffs, they are so friendly. They love to be cuddled and pet. They'll come over and peck you if you don't pet them. Good morning. I think we better put... All the chickens are starting to look a lot healthier now that winter's over. I need to get an apron for that one. A back apron. Okay, how many of them need back aprons? We need to count. We got through half the dishes last night. Normally, I don't like waking up Sunday morning to dishes, but we decided to pick quality time over getting these done. It was a good choice. You know, dishes will always be there tomorrow, but quality time, not always. And with a family as big as ours, there's always work demanding to be done. And sometimes if you don't just set it aside, you will never get quality time together and make memories. Some say you can tell which way north is by which side of the tree that moss is growing on. And my oldest son pointed out to me that these trees look like they're having a disagreement. I thought that was a funny way to put it. Okay, so it's growing north on those trees. It's growing south on that tree. South on that one. Kind of west on that one. And this tree over there, it's just like all around. That tree is compass confused, I guess. I grew up in the woods in this area. Whenever you wanted to find me, I could usually be found in the forest. By 14, I knew every herb, every shrub. I love this little clearing area. It's so beautiful. Perfect spot for a picnic. I love raising my children here. I love that they get to experience one of the best parts of what was my childhood. And my kids are really living it up. They feel like they're in paradise. We are hoping to get the siding on the house, finish getting the siding on the house this summer. I don't think there's a day that goes by that we're not so incredibly thankful. The kids call this area the park because it really does look like a park. All grassy. It's been a year that we've been here and I still haven't gotten time to get out and really walk our property. The kids have, my husband has. I haven't had a chance and I'm out here right now and I'm looking at these. These are rose bushes. I didn't realize we had so many wild rose bushes on the property. So these are going to make really pretty June roses soon here. Another project we have to do soon here. My husband he used to be a farmhand. That was just one of his many jobs. And he was a farmhand for many, many years. So he knows a lot about, like cows and cattle and farming and fencing. And he's going to take the boys out and teach them how to repair this fence and look for weak spots so that hopefully next year we can get a cow. We really want a milk cow. As much milk as we go through, being a large family, I don't think we'll have any problems using it. This is our pasture area though. I don't know how much of the area is pasture. I want to say maybe 10 acres. I'm so thankful that we took the time to get a portion of the garden in. All that we could get in. We got all the cold crops in, I think. I am going to plant more carrots later. I didn't plant all the carrots at once because I wanted to make sure they are ready at different times. I'm glad we got it in when we did. We got it in during a really hot couple days. This is our chicken pen and it worked really well last year. We have skunks in the area and skunks will take out all of your chickens in, like a few hours. So we have to make sure our cages are super sturdy. We're going to be transferring meat birds out to this cage soon. This cage is one my husband built. It's super heavy. It did work last year. It kept the chickens safe from predators. Once we get the chickens in here, we're going to put rocks, heavy rocks all around the bottom so that nothing can dig in. It's such a beautiful Sunday morning. Show me your skirt. Oh my goodness, this skirt was mine when I was little.
It's my favorite.
Little house on the prairie skirt. We're playing Legos this morning. What are we building? It looks like a little village.
Minecraft.
It is smelling so good in here.
Even these mild ones, dicing them really small, so anti-onion people don't
One
even
over
notice.
there. Anti-onion short people. The kids will never know. Sundays vary at our home around one Sunday a month, and two, if I'm lucky, I get to put on my cozy fancy jammies and just sit around and relax and plan and cuddle with the family. Other Sundays, I have to get food prepared for the week. If it didn't get done during the week, then it needs to be done on Sunday in preparation for the week ahead. There are some Sundays I have to go to the big city while my husband's home to stay with the kids, and I get our grocery shopping done, our big bulk grocery shopping done. There are a couple things that do remain constant every Sunday though. One of them is we always try to do devotions together as a family, and it's kind of our home church time. Another thing that's always constant is we usually have the Alexa programmed to play worship music starting at about 9 o'clock every Sunday. That kind of kicks the Sunday off, gets everybody in more of a mindset to focus on God and worship. Whenever I get the relaxing Sunday though, I like to curl up on the sofa with my blankets and my planners and just map out goals for the next week or two ahead. Lately, some of our favorite worship musicians include We the Kingdom and Corey Ashbury. Those have been two that have really spoken to my husband a lot lately, and he loves listening to them. We went digging in the freezer for a little while looking for some hot dogs. Kids want a weenie roast, but we don't have any hot dogs today. We have marshmallows, so we're going to do a marshmallow roast in a little bit. But I found the salve while I was at it. This is homemade herbal salve. Every couple of years I make a big batch of herbal salve. Sometimes for some of us lotion doesn't quite cut it. We need a little extra salve, and this stuff is luxurious. All the kids are just running around the house. Literally running around the house right now.
Say again?
Since we were just talking about work, I thought that for the devotional portion of this video, I could speak to the mamas who feel like they just can't catch a break, and the mamas that are in the trenches working so hard raising their children and doing this family life thing. And for those mamas out there who feel like they're just drowning in the to-do lists, I really get it. For 18 and a half years, I've either been pregnant or nursing, dealing with a handful of miscarriages or a combination of those things, plus wrangling toddlers while homeschooling and running part-time jobs. I know what it feels like to feel overworked and spread so thin that you lose yourself. There are a couple things that I've learned through these years though. One of them is that you do get used to the workload. Eventually you do find yourself getting stronger, and you probably won't notice it until you are in a place where you're listening to somebody much younger who is just starting to begin this motherhood homemaker journey and having a really hard time with things that you overcame. Being a homemaker and a stay-at-home mom, it has a way of weeding out every scrap of selfishness. It's a constant dying to self process. The trick is maintaining a positive outlook and not letting things get too far to the point that you neglect important spiritual and physical self-care. I would like to share some verses with you that always encourage me when I am starting to feel overworked, down, and depleted. The first one is Galatians 6:9-10. Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who are of the household of faith. Jeremiah 31:25. God says, for I will satisfy the weary soul, and every languishing soul I will replenish. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. 1 Corinthians 15:58, therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. I love that because, so much of the work we do as mothers feels like it's in vain. Psalms 126:5, those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. And of course, the last Bible verse to encourage all of us is Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So let's walk in faith, mamas. Let's encourage each other and believe that God will be faithful to his word. Let's pray together and stand together and believe that this hard work will produce fruit.